right, I'ma do you right.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
For those who